Day 2, getting packed up and ready to go. Loading all the stuff in. We're a little bit, we're not doing too bad. We're about 6 o'clock and we're heading off for day 2. We've got about 181 Ks to do today, so a little bit less than yesterday. Hopefully it's mostly flat. We're gonna hit the straightest road, flattest road in the world today. 145 kilometres of dead straight, which is gonna be pretty wild, pretty monotonous, I think. Oh man, yesterday was so hard, so I think today, hopefully without some hills, is gonna be a little bit easier on us, but who knows, it could just be hills all the way. How you feeling, Reese? Don't forget your charger and stuff.
After cycling for a couple of hours, we reached the start of the longest, straightest road in Australia. All right, we've just made it to Australia's longest, straightest road. 146.6 kilometres we've got until Caiguna. Whew! We're making really good time. No bloody hills, Beck.
Yeah.
The hills that, oh my God, yesterday is what slowed us down dramatically. So being nice and straight and pretty flat has made all the difference. So we're feeling pretty good. But I think the monotony of 146 Ks of straight road is going to get to us now. Yeah. It's 146 kilometres or 90 miles of straight road. And at this point, we were very open and exposed to a lot of the weather and pedaling into a headwind. Of course, we planned the whole trip to go from Perth to Adelaide because that time of year is blowing southwesterly. So we thought we'd have a tailwind most of the time. No. We had a headwind, a northeasterly, northwesterly the whole time that we were riding along the Nullarbor, which was so painful.
In your experience, what usually triggers someone's breaking point during a challenge?
And how can they learn to recognise and respond to it in that moment?
Not being prepared, for one, and not engaging in stress inoculation. But also, social support's a huge thing, right? So if you've got people around you to pull you up in those moments when you don't feel like you can do it, that is like one of the greatest panaceas for the quit reflex, is where you've got a buddy and they can see the look on your face and you're like, hey, come on, mate. Remember we spoke about this, like you can do it. So having people around you to help you is incredibly important. But it's also having a plan B, a psychological plan B. So if you don't know your, like everyone's got like an angel and a devil on their shoulder when they're going through really hard things. And if you haven't like worked out your conversation with the devil, it can get the better of you. So you've kind of got to have what we call quit antidote conversations ready to go. So when you get to that breaking point, it's usually like, oh, I'm getting blisters, or I think I'm pulled muscles, or I'm actually getting dehydrated, or like you've got all these excuses in your head, and that you will convince your brain that if you don't do this, you're actually going to have long-term damage. When actually, when you look at people like running marathons, I think they did this study where took a biopsy of people's muscles, and they found they had like 40% more ATP left in that muscle. So your brain will actually make you quit like 40% quicker than you actually physically can do it. It's a evolutionary protection mechanism. So if you are a hunter-gatherer and you were running away from danger, or you were hunting, your brain would have a quick reflex kick in early just so you'd have enough energy to get home. So our brain's got this buffer zone in it that keeps us safe. So you've actually got a lot more in the tank than your brain and your body's telling you to, because it's just a survival mechanism. So if you can just have that conversation with your brain and your body before you get to that point, you go, this is not real. Don't believe the pain and suffering. Don't believe the exhaustion. I know you've got more in the tank, right? Because there's science to prove it. So you have these conversations worked out beforehand. Work out what are your excuses, your typical excuses, and then have the antidote conversation ready to go in your head. Almost third person your conversations in your head, as if you're like create distance between you and the devil on your shoulder, and then you see it as a third person and you talk to it as if it's the third person, not you, and create distance. That's not me talking. That's something else. That's not what I want. So so having a really good awareness of the devil inside is a really good way of battling that.
I'm really stoked that we're having this chat before we do this, because we're now looking it's a lot further than we've ever cycled ever before.
Yeah.
So, and look, we've faced these sort of situations in the last challenges, but this is like so much more.
Yeah.
So to put kind of like little strategies in place to be like, nah, that's really good.
I also found, what you can do is you can count, and you can say, I'm going to see how many, pedals it'll take to get to that next rock. But I found that you actually count down backwards is easier than counting forwards for some reason. So if you can count backwards, that
Little
works.
trick.
If you can get a tempo, a song, that's also really good as well. And there's also identity is a really, really big thing. You're like, I'm the type of person who is tough, can get through this. And you've got to like remind yourself of that identity. And then what you do is you have one word that typifies and is emblematic of that identity. And so you can go mongrel, mongrel, mongrel. And you just say that one word over again. Because I actually did a study looking at people's self-talk. Incredibly important. You've got to have self-talk sorted out. And they said, they looked at people who did extreme sports, and they either had like, come on, you can do it, and they had like a longer sentence, or they just had one word that related to their identity. They found that the one word was much better, because it's metabolically less expensive to think the one word than it is to think sentences. Like every single bit of glucose matters when you're in this situation. You have to be very, very careful of what you let run around in your head, because thoughts are expensive. Thoughts become chemicals. They can become cortisol, and cortisol is expensive. So you have to be very, very efficient at your self-talk, and have to be very careful about what you let run around in your head. And you can test this out. If you're on a stepping machine and then you remember something humiliating or a low vibration thought, you'll actually like in that moment feel like, oh, I don't want to get off the stepping machine. So thoughts really, really do affect your physiology and how much energy you can use. Another thing which is really important in terms of self-talk When you're tired and exhausted, what you've got to do is think of a line in front of you, and your thoughts are either zeros or ones. Zeros are thoughts which deviate you away from your goal. One thoughts are thoughts that like are positive and are enhancing and drive you towards your goal. And then when it comes down to it, you can say, was that a zero thought or was that a one thought? When you're really tired and exhausted and you say, I'm having no zero thoughts. When you see this negative thought come in, this I can't do it, this is awful, you just go, no, that's a zero thought. And that's actually making me tired and pulling me away from my goal. And I just think I just want one positive thoughts, one thoughts.
I found my spark of positivity. I was not going to be a Debbie Downer again today. So I was constantly, consciously thinking positive and just putting into play what Dr. Jemma had told us about just trying to use just one word to flip your thoughts around. And it really worked. It was definitely something I'm going to use in other stressful situations.
Halfway, baby. Day 2.
Holy, that headwind is hectic. It's not even that crazy, but it just gusts of up to 24 to 30 k's, and it just slows us straight down.
Slowing us down a little bit, but still making pretty good time. It's 11. Gonna have some lunch and then keep going.
Holy shit, this is hard. We're almost in Caiguna. This is so difficult. My knees are blowing out. My back is cooked. Holy, we've still got a long way to go. We're definitely over 25% though, which is good. Oh, you must be there. You must be just fucking there. Fucking hell. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ.
We finished the day with a hot meal at the Caiguna Roadhouse and a couple of cold Guinness. Should we be drinking beer?
Mate, we absolutely deserve a beer.